Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Wlbt Plus. My name is Cara Shirley, and I'm your digital news desk host here today to give you some updates on some stories that we've been watching this weekend. I know we had a press conference from Chief Joseph Wade a little bit earlier. Going to recap that press conference for you guys. And then also, in just a little bit, we're going to be speaking with Peyton Garrison from our First Alert Weather team. We're going to find out if we're going to be having any or going to expect to have any impacts from Hurricane Beryl that is out there, made landfall in Texas today. So I see a lot of you guys are joining me here on social media. We have Facebook and YouTube, as well as always our website, wlbt.com. But if you're tuning in, let me know where you're watching from, where around the area are you tuning in from? I would love to know, give you a shout out. I do appreciate when you guys join me here for the show. It's a different kind of newscast, kind of a interactive, if you will, where I get to see your comments and hopefully respond and answer questions for you in real time. So, just let me know where you're watching from. Before we jump into the news, we are going to take a look outside, see what we're looking at as far as the weather goes right now. And outside, we're looking over with our Renaissance camera at Colony Park. It looks a little hazy out there, a little cloudy, lots of cars out on the roadway. But you can almost see how hot it is outside, and it is very hot outside. We have lots of humidity in the area, and I believe that is thanks to Hurricane Beryl. But like I said, Peyton Garrison will be joining us in just a little bit to give us that information. First thing we're going to talk about is part of the press conference that Chief Wade went over with us earlier. So there was a shooting that happened early this morning, here in Jackson, and it happened at Club Twilight on Livingston Road. And let me take you to see that right now. Here it is here on your screen. So we got Club Twilight right here in the middle. I'm gonna zoom in for you, and I see that's right here on Livingston Road. Pull out so we can show you where it is in reference to downtown Jackson. So we have downtown Jackson right here, kind of in the middle of your screen, and then Club Twilight is right up here in the north, to the north of downtown Jackson. Not too much north, but it's right up there. So what happened was a man was shot, and he's been identified as Wlbt. Police say that they do have a suspect in mind in this case, but they don't know exactly, or they're not releasing that information yet. Let me get this straight. I'm sorry. But they are saying that if anybody has an information, whether it be a security cameras or you witnessed it or anything like that, any information on the shooting death of Wlbt, please contact Jackson Police Department or Crime Stoppers. They are asking for your help, for the help with the community, because it has been the community that has helped so many people get captured by the Jackson Police Department. And Chief Wade is incredibly grateful to the community for being very proactive in the catching of crime here in Jackson. I see Diane here on our Facebook page. She is joining us from French Camp, Mississippi. Hello, Diane. And then Keisha Ross is joining us from Canton. Thank you so much, Keisha. I appreciate you. And let's see, Paula is joining us from Lorman, Mississippi. But no, we do appreciate you guys joining in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. It helps us just to know kind of, I guess you could say, where maybe we need to focus a little bit more on as far as news for you guys. We definitely want to bring you the news that you want to hear. Stacy Wilcher here, tuning in from Brookhaven. I appreciate you joining us here, Stacy. So, another thing or another crime that happened over the weekend that Chief Wade let us know about was a shooting that happened at 516 Cooper Road. I'm going to pull this up for you guys so you can see it. I'm going to go to full screen for you. So, this happened at M&M Food Express. It's right there in the center of the screen. I'm going to come out and show you where that is. In conjunction with downtown Jackson. Here we got downtown Jackson right here. And this shooting happened right over here on Cooper Road. So it happened at that M&M Food Mart, and what happened was there was a security guard who was there. His name was Roy Love, and he was working there overnight. It happened about 1:30 in the morning, and they say that Mr. Love approached three black males, young black males, in the parking lot, asking them to leave. Those black males then attacked him, took his weapon, and shot him. Now, I want to clarify, they did not shoot him with his own weapon, but they did steal his weapon from him. They attacked him and they shot him, and he ended up dying from his injuries there. So officers from Precinct 1 and Precinct 2 went to the area. They responded. It was at Woody Drive and Monticello Drive area to search for the suspects because they had received phone calls that they have seen suspects there. So they were able to apprehend these suspects, and it was three teenagers who were arrested for this. So a 17-year-old Tren Wooten, 17-year-old Zylan Norton, and 16-year-old Kadarius Cohen. They have all three been charged with capital murder. Of course, just like with any other case, JPD is saying if you have any additional information to please contact them to let them know. But our thoughts and our prayers are definitely with the family of Roy Love because he was there just doing his job. He was just doing his job. He was going, asking these individuals to leave the parking lot. Don't know if they were loitering, don't know how long they were there, but he was just doing his job. And he ended up losing his life over that. Now, during the press conference that Chief Wade gave earlier regarding this, he said that people were asking, are the parents going to be looked at in this? Because that's a lot of the question a lot of times, especially when it comes to youth crimes. And Chief Wade went on to say that we as parents have to do a better job. We as parents have to do a better job. These were three underage males, three youth, and they were out at 1:30 in the morning. But he said that they will be looking into holding parents accountable for the crimes of their children. But he said he will need support from the court system here in the area. But I believe that is probably going to be something that is a case-by-case type of situation. But he did say that is something that they are looking into. I know a lot of parents, a lot of people out there feel that sometimes the parents should be held responsible for this. Now, when we look back on some of the other youth crime that has happened in our area more recently, thinking back to the carjacking that happened over here in Jackson, West Jackson, where the family was outside getting into their vehicles and they were approached by some youth with guns and threatened, and they had their vehicle stolen. We saw all of that on the video that they shared with us from their Ring door cam. But one of those parents of one of those youth saw that their child was in this video and took their child in and turned their child in for this crime. Of course, that is not the case with the murder that happened with the security guard last night, but you have to think, if we hold the parents accountable, do we need to look at it on a case-by-case basis? Sometimes the crimes of the child do not reflect the parenting. Sometimes children just make bad decisions. Children, whether they be youth, underage children or grown children, we make bad decisions. But Chief Wade said that is something that they will be looking into, especially with this case. and possibly cases going forward. We'll definitely be watching that and tracking that and giving more information to you guys about that. Now, we're going to talk now, a switch over. Actually, let me look and see. Amber Walker here that says parents can't watch their kids all of the time. And that is very true, Amber. As I said, sometimes the actions of the child do not reflect the parent. And Paula Galtney here, she says, let me get it clicked. There you go. It doesn't seem like some parents are watching their kids at all. They're just running free. And it can seem that way sometimes, especially with a lot of the youth crime that has happened. I mean, just seeing the youth crime on the uptick like it is, you have to ask that question, where are the parents? We never know the situation at home, right? We don't know if it is a single mother because one parent has passed away or one parent left and are a single mother, single father. We don't know any of that. So I believe it is probably something that needs to be looked at on a case by case basis, but that is not up to me. That is up to our justice system. So I'm sure Chief Wade is looking at all of the angles as far as things like this are concerned. Speaking of another parent, we're going to now take a look at the child that was abducted over the weekend. It was a 7-month-old child. Her mother pulled into a store parking lot, a Shell gas station here in Jackson on I-55, off of I-55 at Beasley Road. I apologize. And left the car running, 7-month-old child in the vehicle, ran inside. Mother said that there was nobody in the parking lot when she went inside, but her car was then stolen with the child inside the car. Now, thankfully, the child was found very soon after. They had actually already started the procedure to put a Amber Alert out, but the child was found before the Amber Alert could be issued. She was found unharmed. She was taken to the hospital, according to Chief Wade, and she is fine. However, a lot of people are wondering who stole the car. Did they see the person or the baby in the back seat? And why did the parent leave the child in the car? So a lot of the questions that you guys were asking when we did the press conference, streamed it earlier. Now, we do have some images of the suspect here in this case. Let me get this pulled up for you guys. So here is image number 1. Now, Chief Wade was saying that this is either a older white male or an older light-skinned black male. But this is one image that we have, and then here is the other image that we have of the individual. They're not sure yet who it is. They are asking your help if you recognize either one of these pictures. Here, let me get the other one so you can see it again. If you recognize the person in either one of these pictures, you're asked to contact Jackson Police Department or Crime Stoppers. But so what happened was the mother went inside, the car was abducted. Very shortly after, the vehicle was found abandoned in a Woodland Hills shopping center over in Fondren with the unhurt child in the car. Chief Wade, I wanted to especially thank the Capitol Police for their help in this, because they did find the baby given with the information that Chief Wade and his department passed along to him. So he was very grateful for the Capitol Police and their help in this. But people were asking, should there be child charges against the mother? Will there be charges against the mother? And how does this type of situation, this thing happening, how does it normally play out? So they being Jackson Police Department, according to Chief Wade, they are investigating into whether or not there should be charges placed against the mother. They're looking to see what they have. They're communicating with the DA to see if there's any basis for any charges to be placed against her, whether it be child neglect or anything like that. So also CPS has been notified, and CPS could very well do their own investigation into this. But it's, Chief asked, he said, please, parents, people, not just parents, but people, don't leave your vehicles unattended. Don't think you can run inside of a store real quick and not have your vehicle locked or leave your vehicle running, especially with a child inside, because this thing is not, it's not rare. It's something that has happened more than, well, one time is too many times, but it's happened multiple times. And if you think back, and this is something also that Chief Wade pointed out when he heard about this, not only did his mind first go to the 4-year-old Erin that was found abducted here in Jackson. Her little body was found in the woods behind the home where she was taken to. And Chief Wade said that he saw that. He saw that poor child there dead. And then he remembered back to just a couple of years ago where a child was in the vehicle and the vehicle was abducted and that child was later killed. Very sad situation. I remember that very clearly. And he's asking, please do not leave your vehicle unattended. Do not leave your child in the vehicle unattended for no reason. I mean, take a kid inside. Yes, it's going to take a few extra minutes, but take that child inside with you and help save, possibly save a life. So, but we will, we'll follow this and see. Do we know if charges are going to be pressed? No, we don't. Let's see. Amber Walker here. She says, do not leave vehicles unattended, especially with small children inside, small kids inside. And you are correct. Karen here says, if you don't watch them, someone else will. And that is true. So thankfully that this child was found, was unharmed. Everything was okay. They are still looking for the person that stole the vehicle. Let me give you these pictures one more time so you can look at them. So this is the gentleman here. I say gentleman. This is the suspect here. They have him on security camera taking the vehicle. Here's another shot of him. It is kind of poor quality videos. Are print images of him, and that's why Chief Wade said it appears that he is either an older white male or an older black male, but that is who is the suspect right now. So if you know them, please contact Jackson Police Department or Crime Stoppers and let them know that this is what that you know this person, you've seen them, and you know who they are. So we're going to go ahead and get Peyton Garrison in here with us real quick while you continue to look at this guy here on the screen. See if you know him and get his image out there really well for you. Peyton's going to come on in and get hooked up here to give us a look at our forecast, see what we can, if we can expect anything from Hurricane Beryl. And she's getting all hooked up for us, going to give us that forecast. I know it has been hot outside. The humidity outside was absolutely crazy. I did not like it. I felt like I was getting slapped with a wet rag every time I walked outside. But here is Peyton with us. Hey, Peyton, I hope you had a good weekend. Good 4th of July.
I hope you had a good weekend as well. 4th of July, extended weekend for many.
Yes. So tell us what we have going on there right behind you.
Well, as you mentioned, it's hot. It is humid. That's going to be probably the most impactful thing about today's forecast, and is really going to be noticeable widespread. We actually have a heat advisory in effect for every single county. At this point, it seems like we're used to these heat alerts since we've had them in effect for several days now. What it means is that highs will be in the 90s. That's pretty hot on its own, but when we have a lot of moisture in the air, it could feel even warmer. So we've got feels like temperatures in the 100s again today, and we are seeing a lot of moisture today, all thanks to Tropical Storm Beryl. It made a landfall earlier this morning along the Texas Gulf coastline as a Category 1 hurricane. It has weakened since then just due to the land interaction. It's now just located north of Houston, still bringing flooding rains, breezy winds, and also severe weather as well as it moves off to the north and east.
So are we expecting to have any of that impact our area here?
So there is the potential that we do feel some effects from Tropical Storm Beryl. They will not be to the extent to areas off to our west. We're including southeastern Texas, western Louisiana, southern Arkansas. Then this vicinity, as it tracks northeastward, that's going to be the main concern for really high impacts with flooding rains, breezy winds, and also severe weather as, again, it moves off to the north and east, eventually weakening over time. But there still is the potential that maybe we see some impacts here at home, including maybe a low wind severe weather risk. When we have these tropical systems on the eastern side in relation to the center of circulation, you can very easily get these quick spin ups. And you see very close to the Texas-Louisiana state line, there are several tornado warnings in effect. You see these white polygons, and now 3 just located south of Shreveport. That means that we have actually confirmation that a tornado is on the ground. There is a chance that maybe we see one of these outermost rain bands today through early tomorrow morning in our farmost western counties. We could see an isolated severe risk here at home. It is very low end. It's not going to be widespread, not going to be the extent to areas off to our west. But I just want you to pay attention to the weather if you live near the Mississippi River today through about daybreak tomorrow morning, because again, if we are able to see one of these outermost rain bands here at home, there is a chance we see a quick spin of a tornado. It's very low end, but you can't rule it out considering we have the system off to our east. And we're on the eastern side of the system. That means we have to pay attention to the risk of severe weather.
And we have a Facebook watcher right now, Dominic Bridges. He said, is Mississippi getting any of the rain and wind from the hurricane? Just like you said. Yeah, we could. We definitely could.
Yeah, there could be a couple of occasional passing showers between today and especially through about Tuesday morning. I don't think we see widespread rain, flooding rains at that. That's going to be more of a concern to our west. Again, Arkansas, Missouri, Louisiana, Texas, those would be the states and locations where they're going to see the highest impacts from Beryl over the days ahead. But around here, maybe just a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in our farmost western locations. And there may also be some pretty breezy winds at times, maybe a 20-25 mile an hour wind gust tomorrow. Nothing very high, but something that might be noticeable to your Tuesday forecast.
And what are we looking at for the rest of the week? More hot temperatures?
So it looks like, once we get these tropical systems to move out, it can bring in some drier air. And that is exactly what we're going to see from Beryl. Again, plenty of moisture today and tomorrow. That's going to be noticeable. It's just going to be very humid and muggy. But notice all of that deep moisture moves out by the middle of this week. You start to see more blue on our moisture tracker by Wednesday afternoon. That indicates drier air. So it should feel a little bit more comfortable, less humid by Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to knock down the chance of rain. And it's not going to be too terribly hot during this time frame. Say highs upper 80s to near 90 degrees. So we'll see some pretty nice improvements in our weather once we can get Beryl to move out. That's really going to be noticeable again Wednesday and Thursday. It does look like the heat quickly returns this weekend. Mid 90s are expected by that time, but at least we see somewhat of a night's forecast once we get Beryl to move out.
I'm just looking forward to less humidity.
Less humidity. That's what we all look forward to in Mississippi this time of year. And every so often, we can see drops of humidity. They don't last too terribly long, but when we have them, I know we really enjoy and take in these moments.
Very, very thankful for them. Thank you so much, Peyton. And we'll have her back tomorrow to let us know if there's anything else heading our way. But of course, always make sure you download our First Alert Weather app. The QR code is right there on the screen. And these guys are always here to keep you informed on what's happening in your area, right down to your area. So thank you so much, Peyton. We're going to take a quick commercial break so we can switch gears, let Peyton get out of here. She's got other stuff she's got to go do. But we will be right back in just a second. Don't leave us.
Watch Mississippi's most trusted station for news and weather. WLBT is Mississippi's breaking news leader.
I watch WLBT every morning.
I really trust WLBT to give me what I need to know.
WLBT has really been part of my family.
You can always turn it on to watch the news and the weather.
They keep me abreast of everything that's happening in my community.
They're an honest news network.
Maggie Wade. Maggie Wade is my favorite anchor.
Carmen Poe, she's very funny. I like her jokes.
Watch WLBT. Thank you.
And I am back. Thank you guys again for sticking around with me. Cara Shirley here with WLBT Plus. I'm your digital news desk host. We're going to talk about some of the other things that have happened here in Jackson over the past week. Actually, it wasn't over the past week, but it is something that the Jackson City Council did approve. And based off of a crime that happened over the weekend, which I'm going to readdress with you, makes you wonder if it was, if it hasn't been approved soon enough, or if there should be more things. Let me just get into it. Okay, so Kenneth Stokes, Councilman Kenneth Stokes, proposed a ordinance for all gas stations or businesses that have had a lot of crime in their area or at their location, that they be required to hire security for their business. Well, the city council did approve the new ordinance now, and what it's doing is saying that any business associated with violence. So the final version clarifies that to say that any business that has had at least 3 violent crimes in a 90-day time period must take that precaution. The ordinance will take effect in about a month unless it is successfully appealed. I personally like the ordinance. My personal opinion does not matter, though, but I think that it could be a very good ordinance. However, if you take a step back and you look at what happened this weekend at M&M Mart here in Jackson, where the security guard who was there went to approach these 3 males that were out in the parking lot asking them to leave, and he ended up losing his life because of it. It makes you wonder, is that council measure or that measure now, is that enough? Is it enough? Because this is a business. Don't know if they were associated with violence previous to this, but this is a business that did have an armed security guard outside of their business, and he lost his life. Is this measure enough? Is it enough? What else could be done? There are a lot of questions that stem from this. I don't know the answer to any of them, but there is a very big question of, is this new measure now going to be enough? Should there be more done? I don't know, but we will follow this and we'll see what happens. We're going to find out exactly when that ordinance is going to go into effect, and we will let you guys know about it. Unless, of course, it is successfully appealed, but we will be following it. Now, here locally, the Rankin County branch of the NAACP is being honored nationally for its efforts leading to the recent Goon Squad convictions. That was the 6th sheriff from the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. They were arrested and charged with some very heinous crimes. So the organization says they played a key role in gathering victim stories through interview and town hall meetings, and then pressuring law enforcement to take action against officers accused of the unfair and inhumane treatment of Black residents. The Rankin County branch is receiving the NAACP's Dr. Ross Talamer Award for Outstanding Activism, and branch president Angela English will be accepting that award during the NAACP's National Convention in Las Vegas. So congratulations to them for that. Now, somewhere else here in Mississippi, Claiborne County, there was a couple of inmates that escaped, and they are now back in custody after that escape. And that's down in Port Gibson. So the search was for 24-year-old. Let me get them pulled up on the screen for you here. 24-year-old Tyrinkle Collins and 18-year-old Desarius Johnson. They escaped from the detention center early Friday morning. So Sheriff Edward Goods says that the deputies found the escapees in an abandoned house on Bridewell Lane on Saturday morning. He says they had broken into a car after their escape and managed to steal cash and a cell phone. Here is what he says about how they made their escape.
The staff was doing a routine check. noticed some things out of place, and realized that 2 people had escaped. Desiree Johnson of Jefferson County, and a Terranair Collins of Copiah County. We were housing those inmates here at our facility. And they went through the ceiling and came out the backside of the wall.
Now, Collins and Johnson are being held for murder, and they now face additional charges of escape, which carries a sentence up to 5 years or more behind bars. And over in Smith County, a man has been arrested for calling in a bomb threat at a business over there. So 27-year-old Tobias Smith, which you can see him here on your screen, is charged with making terrorist threats. Authorities say that he sent a text message that contained the threat, and as a result, employees were evacuated from Georgia Pacific Plywood outside of Taylorsville. They brought in some bomb sniffing dogs to make sure there was, in fact, no bomb on the property, which there was not, but Smith is now in jail awaiting his bond hearing. We'll be following that and giving you guys some more information on it later in our newscast. Make sure you tune into our newscast later tonight, because there's a lot of things that we are following today. There's been a jury selection in a trial that we're going to be watching for you guys. Several things that we are looking into today. So make sure you tune into our newscast tonight. You can watch them on our app. You can watch them on demand. You can watch them streaming live. Just make sure you download the WLBT News app. Not only will you be able to watch all of our newscasts live, but you also will get alerts for any breaking news that we have as it comes in to us here at the station. That is the end of WLBT Plus. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate all of you that have tuned in here on social media. I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and I hope you guys have a great day. Stay cool outside.